The zoomer tool is mostly used like a magnifying glass, just as its tool icon indicates. You use it to view the fine detail of a track, or in the opposite way, to look at the big picture of a track in a session by zooming out. If you take the zoomer tool onto a track and click once, you'll zoom in one zoom level. If you press the Option key on a Mac or the Alt key on a Windows machine, you'll see inside of the zoomer tool, the plus sign will go to a minus. And if you click once, you'll zoom out one zoom level. If you click and drag, whatever area you select will fill the edit window. A cool feature right below the zoomer tool is called the zoom toggle. This enables you to define and toggle between the current zoom state and a saved zoom state that includes track height, track view, MIDI and audio zoom in and out, horizontal zoom, and grid settings. And you can set different track heights for each type of track, that is for MIDI or audio, etc. So if I click this once, you'll see that this mini grand track expands out. It's actually fitting the entire track into this window. If I click it again, it returns to where we were before. And you can set this zoom toggle setting if you go to Setup, Preferences. In the editing page, we have the zoom toggle section down here. So I have the track height set to fit to window, but you can choose any of these. You can change the track view when you zoom toggle. I'm going to keep it at no change. You can also make some other settings with these checkboxes, but I like the way it is right there. Zoom toggle has a keyboard shortcut. If you press Control E on a Mac or Start E on a Windows machine, you can toggle between the zoom toggle view and the regular view. Even easier, if you go to the keyboard focus button right up here, the little AZ button, and make that active so it's yellow, all you need to do is press the E key. And that'll access the command's keyboard focus command for zoom toggle. Taking this one step further, if we select an area on a track and we hit the zoom toggle, it blows up that area that we just selected. There are two versions of the zoom tool. We have the normal zoom and the single zoom. The normal zoom just stays active and you can do multiple zoom actions all in a row. However, if you're using another tool, doing some stuff, and then you're on single zoom, it'll actually return you to that previous tool if you use single zoom. So that's pretty slick if you just want to do a quick zoom in or a zoom out while you're working with another tool. You can choose that tool, then do the single zoom, and it'll return to that previous tool. To switch between these two different tools, you can right-click on the tool, or you can cycle through them by pressing F5. To the left of the zoom tool here, we have the zoom controls. We can zoom out by clicking this button, can zoom in by clicking this button, or if we click and hold and then drag, we can do a continuous zoom. Pretty cool. Can zoom in on audio tracks as well, making the waveforms shorter or higher. Can also do the same with MIDI tracks. And you'll see that if the MIDI track is in Notes view. Note that these zoom controls are accessed right up here. Make sure there's a check mark there. If you want to hide them, then you can use these buttons right here. And to access the continuous zoom, you can just go into the track and press Control on Mac or Start on a Windows machine, and then click and drag. And you'll get the cool continuous zoom. Now my two most favorite zoom features are these. If you double click the zoomer button, you'll bring the entire session into view. My second favorite one is to use the command's keyboard focus button to my advantage, and then press the R and the T buttons to zoom in and zoom out. Very simple shortcuts. So as you can see here, there are tons of zooming options, from using the zoomer tool, to using the zoom presets, to using zoom keyboard shortcuts. Use them all in combination to get around Pro Tools really quickly.